Okay, hello there everybody and welcome to a demo that I must admit has taken me entirely by storm. This is the Cairn demo, which you can currently get on Steam. And I've got to say, what a fantastic little game this is. You wouldn't think that a survival climbing game would be kind of down your alley, but it just took me completely by surprise. I hadn't heard a thing about it. I just thought, you know what, I saw this one day, I'll give it a wee shot. And wow, I've got to say, I absolutely love it. So what is Cairn? Well, you're basically playing climbing co-op. Is probably the best way to put it. Here we have little Aava.
Hey, Climbot. Go ahead, answer.
Hey, Aava, it's Chris. Do you ever pick up the phone?
Hi, Chris. Sorry. Look, I've not really got a whole lot of time to chat right now.
Absolutely. Just touching base to say we're good to go here. And I gotta tell you, we're all fired up. Rooting for you to become the first human to set foot on the summit of Kami.
Yeah, sure. Okay, gotta go. Just call me back. Come on, Climbot. I'm ready. Let's do this.
So yes, as I was saying, this game is effectively like climbing co-op. So to show you, for example, you take one of your limbs, you decide where to put it, then you take your next limb, decide where to put it, and so on and so forth. And that's how you actually climb up. This isn't like you just pressing forward on the controller to move up. You've got to actually sit there and place every single limb. You can go about, you can control around. You know, you can kind of put them anywhere. You can shove your legs in strange places, but it's actually very physics dependent, so that if I was to say attempt to hook my leg around here like this, well, all of a sudden I'm not that stable anymore. You can hear her kind of grunting, wee Ava, because she's basically saying I am not particularly stable right now, and it's taking a lot of my stamina together. And if you mess around like that too much, then you'll fall off. But that's not a problem, or at least it's not a problem right now when you're not having to worry about falling like we are. You can also choose to take individual limbs, so you can control them. And then you can also jump down as well. Not something to do on top of the cliff. We're actually going to just ignore the rest of these climbing sessions for now, because they're fairly easy. Or actually no, you know what? We'll tire ourselves out, we'll give them a wee shot just so people can kind of get a gist of it. Might as well. They're pretty easy, pretty quick. So this is pretty much, or this is the main kind of gameplay loop, is you are trying to get somewhere. You've got to climb. You've got to concentrate on climbing. It doesn't, when you first kind of talk about it, it doesn't seem like that would be something that would really kind of like take your interest. A friend of mine, he was really into climbing. And I imagine he's going to absolutely adore this game. But just trying to climb somewhere is actually a really good idea for a game. Every single bit of oh yeah, we found some change, and there's a wee bottle over here as well. Every single part of this you are engaged with, because you've got to contemplate, like, right, where am I putting my feet? Am I putting them on the little knobs? Am I grabbing onto little handholds in the rock? You know, am I going to try and push myself up further by sacrificing maybe the sure footing on one of my legs? You know, everything actually becomes a really nice little bit of gameplay and decision making as well that you kind of got to do on the fly, especially when you get into more dangerous kind of areas like this, where now we've got the issue that we're not that high off the ground, but you can hear poor Ava's starting to breathe quite heavily, which means that she's getting quite tired. So we've got to really watch our stamina usage, and we've really got to worry about our feet placement. But we're a-okay, we've managed to reach it. Now, we'll just jump off that, and that's us completed the warm-up. If you do download the demo, you can obviously go through all the warm-ups and all the other walls as well. I will admit, I've played this game enough that I've actually completed all the walls. It's definitely a very good thing to do. Just kind of get a bit of a more idea of some of the various challenges you have. Now, where we are here, we'll just buy something. Let's get a neutral bar. Why not? A little energy bar. That'll do us good. And now we've got to deal with the actual climb itself out of this challenge bit here. Not the hardest climb. You can kind of have a little idea, you can have a little look, you can zoom in on various places, you can kind of like change the elevation so you can kind of see where you want to go. So I think what we'll do is we'll come up like this, yeah. We'll start here. Immediately not getting particularly good handholds, but we're doing okay. Try and keep ourselves as wide as possible so that we can get as much support. Bring this foot up here, bring this one up here. Now, we can either... okay, that was not a good hold for that foot. We can either try and head left or we can head right. I think if I remember correctly, heading right is actually probably the better idea. It's not a very stable place to put our foot, but it'll do for now. Now we got to move this hand here. There we go. Nice and stable. The handholds are better than just, say, putting your foot or your hand just somewhere willy-nilly. And obviously keeping your hands up and above you, like this, so you can grab onto things, will also hold you there a little bit better. If we're in a particularly stable spot, we can press triangle to regain our stamina, and we'll take a little bit of a breath. And that is good for just trying to make sure that we're not going to fall off. Now, I don't think there's any kind of feedback on the screen. Actually, there is. There's a little kind of like black kind of circle that kind of goes inward on the screen when the stamina starts to get lower, but there's lots of like good haptic feedback from the controller to kind of tell you, okay, things are starting to get a bit desperate for you. Aava obviously sits there and she starts breathing quite heavily. Right, we're never going to be able to reach that just now, so let's get a leg up here. Perfect. Let's try and get stable, just so... Keep talking. We're nearly there. As we can see, it's quite a far way down now. If we were to fall off, this wouldn't be good. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually put in a wee pit in here. So we drill that in. Little quick time event to get that in. And what that means is we can now hold ourselves off there, recharge our stamina. We don't have to worry about a thing, and we can just hold there as long as we want. If we wanted to, we can now abseil down here as well. But there's not really much point. We're nearly at the top. It does also mean that should the worst happen and we fall, we are not going to fall too much. In fact, I could probably just show you. If I was just to say jump down here, so you can see the rope catches us, which is perfect, and then we can just ascend our way back up here. If we didn't have that rope there, then we would have fallen all the way down to the ground, and not only would that have hurt us, or potentially kill us, depending on the length of the fall, but we'd also have to start all over again, which wouldn't be that good fun. And that's kind of your... it seems that if you don't do that quick time event correctly, and you twist your piton, if you miss the solid sort of bar, then it seems to break piton scraps. So you kind of like lose that piton until you can remake some more through using scraps that you can find or that are recovered from them. So that seems to be the sort of mechanic that is effectively like a mid-climb save state for you to use. Come on, let's get reaching up. Good stuff. Nearly there. Get our legs up. There we go, get a wee handhold. And there we are. So we've climbed the first bit. We'll recall our little drone. Now we've got the next section to climb up. And that's like your kind of gameplay loop here. But you can also get these little biovac places. These are places to save. And you can sort of see a little bit more about the survival aspect. So, what do we have here? We've got a bunch of food in our backpack, which does seem to have a fairly unique, well, I say unique, but kind of an interesting inventory management where it's based on kind of how they're sitting within your backpack. I wonder if in the main game, if that's also going to have some weight to them. That'd be quite an interesting one. But yeah, you've got your little tent here where you can cook things, you can wait or sleep, you can repair your pitons here if they're broken as well. And this also saves your game, so if you do die, you can always just go back to your latest save. But you have various different states. You've got your food, your drink, your energy as well. You've all got to kind of keep an eye on. And with some story things as well happening.
Pick up. Chris.
I wasn't done. I just wanted to say, you're in top shape, Aava. You've never been so ready. Cammy, you're gonna make it up there. Cammy is your purpose. It's your mountain.
I know, Chris. I'm ready for it. I've got this.
Yes, that's the spirit. All right, I gotta go. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, cheers, Chris. Thanks for the chat. So yeah, as I was saying, we've got more of the mountain to kind of go. I think what we'll do is we will cook up ourselves just a little bit of maybe some chocolate. That sounds quite nice. And this will help us deal with our sort of hunger and our thirst, but also gives us a little bit of a bonus here, some focus. Judging by the fact it has the lungs there, I imagine it actually improves our stamina for a minute, so you can kind of give yourself little status buffs to help you along the way. Now, as for here, how are we going to make our way up this part of the route? So we can either kind of like, we can basically take any path we want to. This bit here seems easiest because there's a bit of a leg up there. We could also come over by there by the waterfall. There seems to be handholds there. But that does seem to be a harder route. I'm thinking out of the two routes that we have available to us, this one right here or the one slightly to the left of us both have a good amount of handholds and seem to be fairly short in comparison to the other ones. And potentially the one on the left being a little bit shorter than this one, so that's maybe what we'll go for. And also isn't directly, you know, like off a cliff if we were to say fall off, which I'm not saying that's happened to me so far in this game, but it's just certainly something to think about. You know, worry about your own safety a little bit. That's where those pittons really come in handy. But yeah, no, I basically just saw this game, I can't remember where it was, I think it was just on Steam one night, and I just thought, oh, that's interesting, because it reminded me a lot of Summit, and the sort of strategy climbing game where you had to like move through the tiles. And I kind of liked that game, but I don't think I quite like the tile system, to be perfectly honest. Whereas this is obviously much more kind of action orientated, with a little bit of survival as well, which is always a bonus in my book. Kind of reminds me of the climbing sections in the Long Dark, but if they were an actual game rather than like a small part of it. Okay, we're not going to be able to get ourselves up there. There's a little crack we can go. Kind of. Yes, there we go. Perfect. Alright, let's get ourselves up there. Good stuff. So we've gotten through the first part. Not too bad, not too bad. Now we've got another little bit to go. But that shouldn't be too hard for us to do. We've managed to make up our first little bit. Didn't even have to use a pit in there. That's probably actually kind of dangerous that we didn't. But the main thing is that we got there. Oh, there we go. Game for some reason wasn't letting me up. Now, this looks like a fairly short bit here, as we can see. The only issue is it does back onto sheer drop, so I might actually go around the corner here. And I think this is part of the reason why the game really wants you to kind of like think about your routes so far. In fact, we can even display our little route here from where we kind of come from. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, so if you're not backing onto actually solid ground, then there's a good chance you'll just fall off and die, unless you pitten yourself in there. But then that's time that you're doing that. There's obviously going to be game modes where you don't have these pittons, so then you really have to think about your route. And that sounds very, very cool to me. Yes, we'll just climb our way up here. So here we'll kind of spread our legs out like so. Gives pretty stable kind of footing. And then now, if we can get this leg up here, stretch on up. There we go. Perfect. The climbing actually feels really, really nice. It's a little bit strange to get used to begin with. And there is some problems I found with the sort of game's automatic limb suggestion. And even actually sometimes grabbing the correct limb. Because I'm wanting to get this left foot here so we can get this up into this crack. And here. So then now we can reach over there. Yeah, there's definitely some issues with it, but overall it's a very solid system. It all feels really quite good. It's all fairly physics-based. There we go. Let's just grab onto that crack and see if we can get our foot up here. I'm not quite enjoying how this is looking just now. There we go. Grip on up. There we go. Perfect. We got there in the end. Get on up. Nice one. So that's just got through another one of the wee hurdles there. And we've managed to make our way up to this rock face, which I think out of all the ones so far is probably going to be the most challenging one that we faced so far. I actually wonder if you can climb all this way up in a one, or I haven't actually tried that at all, from like down below. I don't think there's any way that you can actually kind of access it unless you kind of went off the map. Maybe there's like one. Effectively this is the last climbing route in the demo right now, but I'm wondering if there's any way that you could potentially get round and climb all the way up. I don't think you can climb all the way up in a one. That would be quite cool though. Now as for our route, probably not sticking on the right there would be the best call. We probably either want to stick on this route on the left here, which is against the sharp cliff edge, so we got to worry about that. Or equally we can go for this bit. There's a little bit of a ledge, but still kind of backing off to a sharp cliff. Or we could even have a little look at what's up this pillar as well, where we could put like a little pit in and hopefully we'll be okay, but we'll probably have to go around it. Either way, let's go back into our biovac and we'll see if we can cook ourselves up something good. Now, as part of this, we've also got our other things. So we've got our hot chocolate, so we'll drink that. I think we'll actually... Should we put the chalk on now? Probably no point. We could eat something, but we're actually okay. I don't think we need to cook anything, and we don't need to repair any of our pistons. Let's just get out. So yeah, as we can see, this bit here... We'll just try climbing up this, why not? I don't think I've actually ever tried this one before. So let's see what we can do. For handholds, not ideal, it must be said. But, oh, yep, as you can see there, that was me just slipping because I'm not getting very good places for my feet. You really kind of want them to be on cracks or kind of like quite spread apart so you can get some really nice, nice secure kind of foothold on here. So, how do we want to do this now? I think potentially we want to come right, we either want to come round to the left or round to the right. The round to the right does look like it's got better handholds, but obviously is a little bit more treacherous should we lose our footing. Maybe not the best game for anybody who doesn't like heights. Admittedly, I don't like heights very much, but it's just a game. I can deal with the long, dark transition scenes. I can deal with a game like this. Okay, right, let's get ourselves nice and secure. Now, at this point, I am going to drill bitumen, because I think at this point, if we were to fall, we'd not only hurt ourselves, but there's potential we'd actually end up off the rock. So this at least gives us a little bit of a safety net. And we got 6 of them, so we might as well use them. I imagine in the actual game release that will maybe not be quite as many as you'd hope for. These are fairly small climbs that we're doing before we can recover. And it'll be quite interesting to see what all the mechanics, because you've got your... Seems like your sleep, your thirst, and your energy, but there also seems to be some kind of temperature management aspect to the game as well. I think that'd be quite cool. Right, we don't want to put that foot there. Can we cross over? There we go. Alright. Keep on climbing up. Good stuff. Alright. Not quite as good a handhold as I kind of hoped there would be, but we're alright. As we can see, we are currently in a little bit of a precarious position, but we should be alright. I mean, just don't look down. Yep, just breathe heavily. There we go. Okay. So, grab onto these little footholds. We'll head on up like this. Good stuff. Let's just pop you there. Can we reach? Can't fully reach. There we go. Perfect. You're alright. You're alright. I know, I know. You're okay. You can also seems like take a little bit of a second when you're in a stable position for her to get her stamina back. So, kind of brace ourselves against this crack. We'll raise our feet up. There we go. Okay. Not the most ideal position to be in, because I'm not quite happy with how secure we are right now, but with this hand here, grab onto that handhold and we're fine now. Okay. Start moving our feet along. Again, we're not going to be that secure until we can get our hand up. Nice. Our feet in. Sink our leg in. And up we get. Okay, very nice. What do we find? Found some eggs. Cool. Alright, and it's saying that we can get ready and we can run. Okay. Now doing that in the main game will be quite interesting. We are definitely going to put a pit in down here, because if we fall at this point, that is not very good for us at all. But this is cool. I've never actually really gone this way. Being able to kind of skip the majority of that climb. I do not like this area though. This is not very good for our grip. We're going to put some chalk on so we can get better grip on our hands, because we need to try and get to a better area. I know we're secure with the piton, but at least this way we can get a nice climb on the go, nice and quick. Come on. Nearly there, girl. Perfect. Come on. Up we get. Beautiful. Ah, we did it. Look at that. How perfect is that? We managed to make our way there and up. It wasn't even that big of a bother. But that's nothing in comparison to what we're going to have to deal with in the actual game, as that mountain is quite a bit bigger. But who knows? Maybe we'll be able to do it, maybe not. I don't actually even know when this game's coming out.
Are you ready for Cammy?
But I've got to say, I'm looking forward to it.
Doesn't look so bad, does it?
Yeah, it looks fine. It does look like a really cool game. I'm quite enjoying it. I'm quite looking forward to seeing more about the survival aspect of it. And you know what? I've just been having quite a lot of fun with it, even though it's just a little short demo. Even gives you a little kind of idea of, oh, this is your way of getting up there. We were pretty decent. We did fall off once, and that was when we were actually doing the first climbing wall when I was messing about showing the things. So we really didn't do that bad in terms of how we climbed it. But yeah, no, I'm very much looking forward to seeing how it looks at sort of night, and especially the dusk. Dusk looks just incredible. A very pretty game, good sound effects, quite cool. It's free. Go check out the demo. This isn't sponsored in any way. I just really liked it, so just thought I'd give you a kind of a feature breaker there, just a bit of a video breaker. Just kind of be like, hey, try this out if you haven't. I really enjoyed it. Just want to say thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this and you want to see more like this, let me know. But unfortunately, the game's not out yet. Otherwise, I would be playing more of it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you for the next one. Till then, take care.